She used to ignore every single message he sent, leaving him stuck on read for hours, sometimes days. Meanwhile, she laughed louder and leaned closer to other guys, soaking up their attention like it was oxygen, while he stayed awake at night, questioning every move, wondering what he did wrong, replaying every conversation over and over in his head. He brought her flowers, paid for every date without hesitation, and always kept himself emotionally open and available, hoping she'd see the real him. He gave his time, his care, his loyalty, but deep down, she never truly felt anything real for him. Then something shifted. When he started applying 7 key principles rooted in dark psychology and ancient Stoic philosophy, everything changed. She began checking his stories first, messaging him out of the blue, her curiosity sparking like fire. She found herself wondering where he was, who he was with, and what he was doing, her mind refusing to let him go. She couldn't stop thinking about him, not because he forced it, but because he became the kind of man who naturally triggers obsession, without tricks or games. This isn't about faking feelings or manipulating anyone. It's not about cheap tactics or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming a man whose presence, mindset, and calm reactions make him magnetic in a way that can't be ignored. If you're exhausted from being overlooked, tired of playing the nice guy who always finishes last, then stick around till the end of this video. Because the final principle I'm about to share, it's the one secret almost every man misses, and without it, you'll keep losing, no matter what you try. Let's dive in. And if you're serious about unlocking your true power and becoming the best version of yourself, hit subscribe to Stoic 95. Here, we don't chase attention, we command it. Number 1, scarcity sparks obsession. This is one of the biggest mistakes men make over and over, thinking that being available all the time equals value. That if you're there for her every single moment of the day, she'll automatically fall for you and never look away. But here's the brutal truth. Nothing destroys attraction faster than being emotionally accessible on demand, like a 24/7 convenience store. Think about it like this. If gold was lying around on every street corner, would anyone treat it like treasure? Of course not. Gold is precious because it's rare, because it takes effort, time, and patience to find it. That's why it holds value. Now look at yourself, your time, your energy, your attention. If you give these things away too easily, if you reply instantly to every message, always just checking in or waiting around to answer, you're doing the opposite of creating value. You've become predictable, and predictable, that means invisible. That means forgettable. Women don't obsess over men who are fully accessible, who drop everything the moment they call. They become fascinated by men who are a little mysterious, partially present, but never fully available at her beck and call. So here's the mindset shift you need right now. Stop acting busy. Actually become busy. Fill your life with purpose. Work on leveling up your body, your income, your skills, your mindset. When she asks, "What are you up to?" you won't have to fake it. You won't have to manufacture some excuse. You'll answer with confidence. "Just wrapped a meeting with my editor, taking a break now." That right there, that's power. That's emotional scarcity. That's the magnetic energy of a man who commands his time and isn't begging for attention. Because here's the secret. The less she hears from you, the more she'll think about you. And that right there, that's where obsession begins. Number 2, master your emotions. Most men fall into the same trap. One dry or short text, and their mind starts spinning out of control. One delay in her reply, and suddenly they're drowning in doubt, panicking, overthinking every little detail, and chasing her harder than ever before. And in that desperate chase, they lose her completely. But Stoics, they operate on a different frequency. They live by one unshakable law. You don't control her actions. You only control how you respond. In a world addicted to instant gratification and constant emotional highs and lows, true emotional self-mastery is as rare as it is powerful. And that rarity, That's what makes a man magnetic, irresistible. Imagine this. She sends a cold, detached reply, a weaker message than you expected. Most guys would react impulsively, sending a dozen texts, making excuses, feeling crushed. But a Stoic man, he breathes deep. He puts on his gym shoes. He gets to work. He stays steady, grounded, and centered. Without saying a word, he shows her the silent message that resonates louder than any text. My world doesn't crumble just because you blinked. That kind of calm, unshakable energy is intoxicating to her. Why? Because women are not drawn to emotional chaos. They're drawn to men who can contain their emotions. Men who stand firm when the world around them tries to shake them. Men who don't collapse at the first sign of emotional turbulence. So the next time your stomach flips after a slow reply or a cold message, don't panic. Let that feeling wash over you. Feel it fully, but don't let it control your actions. Hold your ground silently. Let her wonder why you remain unbothered. Because in that silence, when you refuse to react, she starts questioning her own power over you. And once a woman wonders if she's losing your attention and control, she will fight to get it back. Number 3, use strategic distance. You don't have to block her or ghost her to create impact. That's not the way real power works. Instead, you simply create intentional space, a purposeful distance that draws her in instead of pushing her away. Let me break it down. Human emotions are built on contrast. Pleasure doesn't hold any weight unless there's absence to compare it to. Desire can't survive without a little distance to keep it alive and burning. If you're always right there, texting, calling, reacting to everything she says or does, she never feels your absence. She never experiences the space where her mind starts to wander, miss you, or crave your presence. And without that absence, there is no emotional longing, no tension, no attraction that pulls her in. So here's what you do. After an incredible date, after a deep, meaningful conversation, step back and vanish for a while. Not to punish her, not to play games or stroke your ego, but to let silence speak louder than any words ever could. The most powerful men don't always need to say the right thing at the right time. They know when the most powerful move is simply not to speak. Let her mind fill in the blanks. Let her imagination run wild, wondering where you are, what you're doing, who you're with. Let her chase you in her thoughts, while you stay focused on chasing your vision, your goals, your purpose. Because when you create that vacuum of space, something incredible happens. Her emotions rush in to fill it. Number 4, keep your mystery. Average men have this habit of explaining everything, what they're doing, how they feel, what their plans are. They overshare details in desperate attempts to get approval, validation, or reassurance. But here's the catch, that approval-seeking energy, it's a massive attraction killer. High-value men understand something far deeper, the power of perceived value. They know that mystery isn't just a trick, it's a magnetic force that pulls people in without a single word. You don't have to announce you're building a business or explain every step of your journey. Instead, let her witness the moment. The phone rings during your focus, and you say calmly, "Give me 5. I've got to take this." That's enough. The rest is for her to imagine. You don't need to post gym selfies every day, boasting about your progress. Let your discipline show through your posture, your energy, the way you carry yourself in the room. Actions speak louder than words, always. She should wonder about you, and that wondering creates emotional investment. When she invests her curiosity and imagination in you, attachment naturally follows. Remember this well, mystery is magnetic. The more she tries to figure you out, the deeper she falls under your spell. So don't hand her your whole blueprint right away. Let her earn it. Let her discover you piece by piece. Number 5, play, push-pull. If you're always warm, always available, always there to support her every move, you become predictable. And predictability? That's the silent killer of sexual tension. It slowly suffocates desire until there's nothing left to chase. but swing too far the other way. Always cold, withdrawn, or emotionally distant, and you become unrelatable. She can't connect with a ghost. So what's the secret balance? It's the push-pull dynamic. Be warm and present when she least expects it. Pull back, get detached when she thinks she has you figured out. Show up fully one day, then disappear into your own world the next. This emotional tension builds anticipation, that delicious kind of anticipation that sparks curiosity. And curiosity? That's obsession wearing a clever disguise. Let her believe she's cracked your code, that she's figured you out. Then change the rhythm. Shake things up. Make her expect a reply, then delay it just enough to keep her guessing. Let her settle into silence, then call with intent, with purpose. You don't need to be flawless or calculated. You just need to be unpredictably real. A man with layers she can't fully see or predict. She'll never say it out loud, but deep down, she'll feel hooked, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Number 6, lead her feelings. Most guys fall into the trap of mirroring her mood. If she's distant or cold, they become distant and cold too. If she's sweet or warm, they soften and melt in response. But this kind of emotional reflection isn't leadership. It's surrender. Leaders don't mirror. They set the emotional tone, calmly and confidently. They become the anchor in the storm, the steady rhythm that others follow. Imagine she's having a rough day. Everything feels off for her. Instead of matching her low energy and spiraling down with her, you stay grounded. You say with calm authority, "Take a breath. Let's go for a walk. No phones, just us." You guide her out of the chaos, offering stability where she expects uncertainty. That kind of emotional leadership, it's addictive. Women don't always say it out loud, but deep down, they crave a man who won't get swept away by their emotional storms. They want a steady hand when their world feels unstable. So stop reacting impulsively to her mood swings. Start leading her emotions, not with ego or control, but with emotional intelligence and quiet strength. Soon, she'll start associating your presence with peace and security. She'll begin to feel like calm isn't something she can find without you. And that right there is what true obsession looks like. Finally, number 7, freedom within frame. Here's the last principle, and honestly, the most powerful of them all. You don't chase. You don't force. You don't beg or convince. Instead, you give her freedom. Freedom inside the world you create and lead. Let her feel like she's calling the shots. Where to go, what to do, when to text. The illusion of total choice. But behind the scenes, you're the one setting the frame. You're guiding the path without making it obvious. For example, "Hey, I'm free Friday or Sunday, your pick." It sounds like you're handing her the reins, but really, you're leading the direction. Why does this work so well? Because humans crave freedom deeply. We want to feel like we're choosing our own way. But at the same time, we're wired to be drawn to structures that feel safe, stable, and emotionally rich. When you build a world that's grounded, centered, and full of emotional depth, she won't just want to stay in it. She'll want to stay because it feels like home. Not because she's trapped or obligated, but because nothing else feels as aligned or real. This is the true paradox of masculine power. You don't cage her. You don't control or limit her. You invite her into a space where she can be soft, wild, and fully herself, and still deeply connected to you. And when she feels that freedom with you, she'll never want to be without you. Brother, if you've made it this far, you're not just hunting for tricks or quick wins. You're here because you want to become a man of real power, presence, and unshakable purpose. You just absorbed 7 principles most men never even discover, let alone master. But this is only the beginning of your transformation. Here's what I want you to do next. Subscribe to this channel, Stoic 95, because every single week, I break down the deepest psychological and emotional secrets that will help you build unshakable masculinity, without pretending, without games, just real, grounded power. And drop a comment below. Which of these 7 principles hit you the hardest? Which one are you going to start applying right now? And remember this above all else. She doesn't fall for your empty words. She falls for your energy, your presence, your silent power. Upgrade that energy, and everything else will naturally follow. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp. Stay stoic. Stoic 95, signing off.